Recording in progress.
All right. I'm going to call to order the meeting of the Long Beach Community College Personnel Commission meeting for March 21st, 2022. Call to order. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Cynthia, have you led us in a Pledge of Allegiance yet?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, we're going to put you on the spot. Could you please, everyone could please stand, and my flag is still there. And we can, Cynthia, lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty for all.
Thanks, Cynthia.
Welcome.
Roll call, please. Roll call. Do I do it?
Yeah, you do it. And then we say here.
I am so used to having people.
I was getting
support
ready
me.
to, but I thought I was told to do it.
Present.
Jeff, present. Robin is not joining us for the record. She is ill with COVID, so she will not be joining us. Public comments on agenda items. Public comments on agenda items due to Senior Administrative Assistant Dina by email, 4:00. Has there been any comments submitted for our agenda to be discussed?
No, we have received no comments tonight.
Thank you. Then the first item will be the approval of the minutes for our last meeting. If there's any corrections, objections, edits, I'll hear them at this point. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting.
Move approval.
And I will second it. No discussion at this time. A roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin? Jeff is aye. Approval of the minutes passes. New business. A, approve eligibility list. It's amended. Financial aid advisor. Entertain a motion to approve, please.
I move approval.
There's a motion, and I will second that item. Staff report on this item, please.
So this item is returning to the commission because there was a rescoring done through the testing process. And when that occurred, there was another rank moved into the list. So it's being brought back to you. It was originally approved back in February, I think, February 28th. So that is the amendment.
Questions, comments from the fellow commissioners? Janine?
Philip, can you just tell us why it was rescored?
I wasn't here when that happened, but I'm assuming normally when there's a rescoring, there is either an issue that's been determined by staff that there was a problem, or a candidate raised an issue regarding a question, and then that causes some rescoring.
Do you know if that moved anybody down?
I do not.
Kristen, do you happen to know if that causes any future problems? I don't remember this happening before.
It actually shouldn't cause any future problems. If there is an incident where we do need to apply a rescoring, then in essence, the goal is to ensure that we're upholding, the principles of fairness. So we assess the situation, determine if, given all of the facts, that make sense to do this or not. And if it does, then the rescore does occur. There is the possibility that someone could potentially be moved down. There's a possibility there could be a tie in rank, but it is something that we think about, and we only move forward if it makes sense given all of the facts.
Okay, thank you. I don't remember that happening before. Maybe it has, and I've forgotten.
I don't know either, but this would be how we kind of go about any of these types of scenarios.
Okay, thank you. Robert, do you have any input on this, or are you good?
I know nothing. No one said anything about this one.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. No other comments from the commission at this time. I'll do roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Do I need to Well, we don't have a parliamentarian. I'm going to just call Robin, so at least we know. I'm going to keep a record. So I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent, but I'm just going to do it for procedural. Robin, absent. Jeff is an aye. A passes. B, approve eligibility list, administrative assistant for CTE grants. Entertain a motion to approve.
I move approval.
I will second the item. Staff report, please, on item B.
So this is the administrative assistant for CTE. However, the list is going to be in place for other administrative assistant positions. There are a total of 22 eligibles on this list. Seven of them are internal candidates.
Questions, comments, members of the commission?
Philip, do you happen to know how many future lists this will be potentially for?
No, I don't have any other admin assistants to my knowledge right now, but as you know, the list is good for a year. And so we have 7 internals and another 15 others from the outside. So that's a good list.
That is a good list. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No other comments from the personnel commissioners? Roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin? Jeff is an aye. B passes. C, approve eligibility list. Child Development Center. This is for program assistance. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move approval.
Motion, and I will second the item. Staff report on item C, please.
First of all, I'll say I love child development programs. I used to work in child development programs. So, but anyway, this is a list that was created that will be created today. It has a total of 4 eligibles on that list. There are no internal candidates. Do the commissioners have any questions?
Questions from our personnel commission at this time. This is also fill up these are tough positions. I know it sounds, these are tough positions to fill. And it just, I mean.
They are. You'll find in industry that positions that look after our infants and toddlers, and then those positions that serve our elderly are probably the hardest positions to fill, just in general.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of liability issues, and I just from experience.
And the early learning programs in education have gone under so much change, and the requirements for the positions continue to change based on legislative changes that, whether that be at the federal level or the state level, but they're constantly challenging because of the requirements.
Right, and protecting the individual. Very good. Janine, do you have any questions on item C at this time?
No, thank you, Jeff.
None. Roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin? Jeff is aye. C passes. D, approve eligibility list for life science laboratory specialists. Entertain a motion to approve, please.
I move approval.
Motion, I will second it. Staff report on D, please.
This position has 2 eligibles on this list with 1 internal candidate. You'll notice that there was a performance evaluation done through the recruitment process, testing process. And that was, I wanted to ask about that, so I'm sharing. But it was a live demo with 3 raters, and the candidates were asked to do some work with Petri dishes, do some chemical tasks, chemical mixing, and I understand it went quite well. So I just thought I would mention that.
Wow. Thank you. Comments from the fellow commissioners? Hearing none, I'll roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin? Jeff is aye. D passes. E, approve eligibility list, manager online learning program. I entertain a motion to approve of E, please.
I move approval.
Motion, and I will second it. Staff report.
For this position, there were 9 eligibles on the list, and there are 2 internal candidates. They went through a qualification review and subject matter expert review.
Thank you. Comments, members of the commission, please. Hearing none, roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin? Jeff is aye. E passes. F, approve eligibility list, record specialists. Entertain a motion to approve, please.
I move approval.
Motion, and I will second it. Staff report on F, please.
Record specialist. This was when I looked at the numbers, of course I wasn't here. It was started with 101 applications and dwindled its way down to 8. There were 33 invited to the testing. The job description, though, is rather specific. That does require the candidates or the applicants to have student records experience or with scholarships. But at the end of the day, we have 8 on the list with 4 internals.
Thank you. Comments, member of the commission. My first question is, how did we end up with over 100? Was there people didn't understand what it was, or is there something about this position that I should apply for?
Well, that would be an offline conversation, sir. But I think if anybody sees a record specialist, they just assume it's any kind of record. And so there's just a generic thought that I qualify if I know how to file and I know if I handle the record. But in this case, the job description is rather specific.
Very good. Janine, do you have any questions on this item?
No, I'm just happy to see the internals.
Yeah. No, I agree. And for the record, if I see record specialists, I'd be talking about LPs.
And you would be a
obviously, I definitely wouldn't be a candidate.
You would be dating yourself, sir.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna have to buy the White Album again. I know that. All right. No other question, comments on this item F. Roll call. Janine.
Aye.
Robin. Jeff is an aye. F passes. G. Approve advanced salary placement. Accounting technician 2. Entertain a motion to approve, please.
I move approval.
Motion, and I will second it. Staff report, please.
So forgive me, this is the first time I've ever had to do a salary advancement approval with the commission. The commissions that I worked with before never went through this process. So I'm going to take a stab at it, and then you let me know if I'm not giving you enough information. So this individual is an accounting technician 2 coming in at step 2. The candidate was on the eligibility list. She has prior experience and is working in our office as a limited term payroll technician. And she has more than the minimum qualifications of a high school diploma plus the GED. She also has a bachelor's degree and 4 years of related experience.
Was the bachelor's degree part of the job requirement, or is that?
No, I believe that's above. That is above.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm sorry, I should have clarified on that one.
No, that's okay.
Very good. Roll call. Janine.
Aye.
Robin. Jeff is aye. G passes. H. Approve advanced salary placement, application development analyst 4. Entertain a motion to approve, please.
I move approval.
And I will second it. Staff report. Staff report.
Okay. This individual's, yes, coming in as the application development analyst 4 at step 8. The MQs require a BA in 3 years. This individual does have a BA, but has 12 years of related experience. This candidate was one of 2 individuals that was on the list and had previously was a prior incumbent at step 11 on a different position. So that's the justification.
Thank you. Comments, member of the commission at this time? Hearing none, roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin? Jeff is aye. H passes. H, I. I. Approve advanced salary placement. This is for an EOPS program specialist. Entertain a motion to approve, please.
I move approval.
And I will second it. Staff report on item I, please.
So I respectfully withdraw this item from the agenda. It should not have come to the commission.
Should this item be laid over to the next meeting or just removed for?
I believe it will not be. No, it will not be.
So this item then, the motion then, the substitute motion will be to remove this item from our agenda. Could I entertain a motion on that, please?
I move to withdraw the motion.
Or just for this.
Second your motion.
She's good.
Substitute motion is to remove the item for consideration.
I second.
I can second that. Without objection, that is so ordered. I is removed. Item J. Approve advanced salary placement for student life coordinator, basic needs. Entertain a motion to approve item J, please.
I move approval.
I will second it. Staff report on item J, please.
This is for a student life coordinator, basic needs area. The minimum qualifications are a BA in 5 years. The justification is the candidate possesses a master's degree and 7 years. There were 4 eligibles originally on this list.
Very good. Comments from members of the commission at this time? Hearing none, roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin? Jeff? Aye. J passes. Item K, approve the extension of working out of class assignment, student services technician, Kimberly, is it Quaros? If I botched that one, my apologies. I entertain a motion to approve.
Move approval.
I will second it. Staff report, please.
So this is a working out of class to extend through this year of June 30th. The individual had already been started in a working out of class on January 3rd. And I believe one of the, at least the manager, Sonia de la Torre in Ingres, is here, Dean of Student Equity, if there's also questions.
Any additional comments at this time?
Yeah, just.
Yes. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
There you go.
Sonia, I just stepped on you. I apologize, Sonia.
Go ahead, Sonia.
I just wanted to add that this position is essential to our operations at the Welcome Center at our liberal arts campus. So I appreciate the consideration and extending that working out of class. This was also a vacancy in our area.
Very good. Janine, did you have comments at this time?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. First, does the time frame seem like it exceeds 90 days, or is that my imagination? I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the exact dates. I don't have my agenda in front
I
of me.
believe it would, and I think that's why it's coming to you, is when it hits 90 days, that's when they come forward. But I'll defer to Cynthia or Kristen if I'm wrong with that statement. But I believe that is the practice.
Yes, that is correct. So after it exceeds 90 days, then we bring it back for the PC approval. So in this case, we're asking for approval to extend it from April 1st through June 30th, which would be within the 90-day of approval, the PC approval.
Well, it's not April 1st yet.
Oh, so Kimberly is currently working out of class. And so we wanted to bring this before the commission before the current one expired to ensure no gap in service for students.
Next meeting is April 4th.
Right.
So,
Right.
okay.
So
Which
I
would
think
have been-
we're bending our past practices, and I'm concerned about that. So our past practice would have been, we would have extended right before. In this case, we'd extend from March 21st for 90 days, as opposed to we're going to extend starting April 4th and then extend beyond 90 days. So I know we had a little bit of a discussion on the last meeting. I went to the rules and regulations, looked them up, and it is indeed 90 days. I'm not comfortable with bending our past practices. My fellow commissioners may be wanting to do that, and I'm certainly welcome to listen to their concerns if we're all present, but I'm concerned about that. So if we are extending, she's April, what date you said first?
April 1st, yes.
So
Yes, and I believe her current out of class ends March 31st. So we're asking for an extension from April 1st through June 30th.
what I'm saying is past practice, we have not extended from before or future dates. There's no future dates. We go today and go 90 days. Does that make sense, Cynthia?
Yes.
So we go March 21st until I don't know what 90 days is, but let's just pretend it's June 21st. Does that make sense to you? So I'm not comfortable going out of the practice that we've had for the past 15 years while I've been on the commission. Again, my fellow commissioners may want to change that. But for me at the moment, until we have all three of us here, I would prefer not to do that. I would prefer to say, okay, March 21st, 90 days from now, I'm going to pretend it's June 21st. I don't know what the actual 90 days is.
Sure.
But that would be my comfort level. I don't know how Jeff feels about this.
I just I'm trying to do my math, leaving my calendar behind me. But staff, on to Janine's point, I think just because with rules and regulations, I know it's sort of following the letter of the law. Not sort of, it is. And it just gives everyone a little bit more, I think what I believe with Janine, which she's getting at, which is a valid point, is it keeps us very clean. It's not outside of those regs. So if people ever ask us as a college or individual where we're long gone and it doesn't follow normal practices, it potentially could raise some issues. Maybe not. But so that's where I agree with her in that unless there's some outstanding issue, why, I'm open to that. But if not, just following the rules, regulations, just make everyone's lives easier. unless we're doing this for some other reason. And I'm open to that. No one's trying to do anything here, but I just think we're all safer if we just follow what we know is the normal process that we've done for the last, forever. So I don't know. Just anyone tell me if there's something, because if not, I think what Jeannie would like is we just lay this item over. But is that going to be a problem because we're not back till April 4th? And my understanding is that so is there an issue that would cause a problem that we cannot lay it over to our next meeting?
Or can we just exchange the date until today's date, extend 90 days? And I want to bring up the point that in the past, we have had union concerns about people living in these long-term positions indefinitely. And so I am very aware of that, and I don't want that to ever occur. And I don't want to give the illusion of that occurring either when we're not giving the oversight to the actual 90 days, because I think it's very easy for hiring authorities to just leave someone in limbo indefinitely. And that's not what we want to happen. We want to have a good awareness of what's happening with the hire practice, if somebody's ill or somebody's injured, and keep all of those things on the forefront of why we need those positions to be long-term. But I don't want to be extending dates beyond 90 days. It's in the rules and regulations. I feel like we should honor the hard work that the union and our staff members have put in the rules and regulations, and want to make sure that we are not trying to all of a sudden render those ineffective. So that's my viewpoint. Again, I would respect whatever Jeff and Robin have to say on this issue. But for tonight, my preference would be going from March 21st to whatever 90 days is.
So does anyone better with a calendar than I am right now? If we go from March 1st, 90 days out, or if you want me to, I can turn my back on everyone and start counting my calendar behind me. But
I'll ask Cynthia, can you figure out what 90 days would be really quick while we do that? And I understand, but I think that's a good solution. And you're going to have the same question on the next one, just so you're on item K. So as soon as we get that date.
Okay.
Philip, is what I'm proposing out of order with other personnel commissions across the state, or am I doing something weird? I'm just telling you.
Well, again, you're. I don't want to use the word weird. It's different at Long Beach in the sense that you approve advanced salary placements. I've always done that as the director. I've never brought those to the commission. On the working out of class, I used to sign off on the working out of class. I never brought those to the commission. So it was just a different process. It was just a different process.
Our union likes to be aware, and we like to hear their opinion on these issues. There have been pretty significant concerns in the past, especially with the working out of class.
I get it. No problem.
So if it's Cynthia or whoever is doing it, do we just want to amend the motion to say that it'll be 90 days from a start point of March 1st, 2022? Will that help to move this along, as will the next item?
I think so. Was it March 21st through June?
I'm sorry, March 21st. Yes, sorry.
Yes. So March 21st through June 21st.
Okay.
3 months.
Then would you like to amend the motion, Janine, to reflect those dates in the motion?
I move that we amend the motion to go from March 21st until June 21st, if that's 90 days.
Okay. All right. Very good. And I'll second that amendment to the motion. So, all right. Yeah, I just think we're all trying to do the right thing, and with more than anything else, we're just trying to follow a process that we've done, and we're not, as long as we're not out of following the rules and regulations, I think it's a smart move. So it gives us justification of why we did things. All right, very good. Then
I'm sorry, it would be, sorry to interrupt, but the 90-day period would be June 19th and June 19th.
Okay, so the motion will reflect June 19th as the ending date. March 31st to June 19th. All right. Thank you, Cynthia. All right. That is the motion. If there's no other questions, comments, because I agree with it. Roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin? Jeff is aye. The motion passes. Next item. What are we on? Are we on M?
We're on, well, wait a minute. I've got.
M or N? I'm sorry. I lost my place on this.
We are on L, I believe.
L, yeah, that's true, because we just the one with Kimberly,
yes.
right? L, approve the extension of, thank you, Philip, approve the extension of working out of class, because this is the same item that we'll want to reflect the dates. Working out of class assignment, program manager, categorical Linda Olmos. So with that, Janine, could I entertain a motion? And in the motion, it will reflect the same dates of March 21st to June 19th. And so in the motion, it'll be amended to reflect those dates. Could I entertain a motion to approve on item L?
I move we approve with the amended dates of March 21st to June 19th.
I will second that. Staff report on item L, please.
This working out of class follows with the previous one. I think they're backfilling between positions. And so with that said, it also started on January 1st. And with the dates revisions, it would then go through June 19th.
The only thing I would add is that we are going to begin to work with HR to fill the permanent positions.
Good. Very good. Comments, fellow commissioners? Hearing none, roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin? Jeff is aye. L passes. M, review and approve the classified and salary recommendation for senior mental health clinician. That is, I've never seen that word before. Maybe because I'm not in that industry.
Clinician?
Yeah, I've never
or
seen
mental health.
Well, that part I do know. But there's a motion. Entertain a motion to approve, please.
I move approval.
And I will second it. Staff report on item M, please.
This classification has gone through the customary processes of developing the job description with the hiring authority, working with the union for review, and going back to the HR for final review. And we did have consensus on this classification with AFT. So I'm recommending that you move forward with approving the class and the salary as outlined in the transmittal. And I call your cover sheets transmittals, by the way. I don't know what you call them, but I call them transmittals.
Sounds very formal. I like it.
Staff report. And then Robert, do you have any question on this as well?
No, I'm thrilled that the district is actually moving forward with providing our students with more mental health clinicians.
Mm-hmm.
It's sadly,
I mean,
we have 18,000 students, and we have actually 3 ladies trying to do this. It doesn't matter their gender, but they do an amazing job, and it's a really difficult job. So we're in 100% support of getting more clinicians on the campus for our students.
No. Well, I mean, well said, Robert. Absolutely. Janine, did you have any questions on this item?
No, I echo what Robert just said. I'm thrilled as well. And I'm in a class this semester. You can see the need when you're on campus.
Something we never thought of growing up, but it's reality today. No other questions, comments, roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin? Jeff is aye. M passes. N, approve classified study recommendations, classified specifications. This is a second reading. So this is with Long Beach Council of Classified Employees, AFT, Local 6108, and management team. Second reading. So we'll need a motion on this item.
I move approval.
Motion by Janine. I will second it. Staff report, anything on item N this time? Philip?
I'll just say that this is a major group to come forward. I want to give accolades to the staff, and that's Jessica Oblado that's been working on this. Of course, with Cynthia's leadership and Kristen's leadership. I've only been here 7 days, so I can't take any credit. But I'm understanding the process of how the classification is being done first, and that the compensation will come secondary. I think that's a good process, but the number of folks that are on this list, both for managers and staff, I think is commendable. And I think, again, I give a shout out to staff for their work.
Very good. Robert, do you have any comments on this item at this time? I mean, there was, but do you have any observations or comments you'd like to make at this time on N?
No, we're happy that they're moving forward with our recommendations, and there isn't anything specifically in this batch that comes out that we're not, or we haven't discussed. No, everything's fine with this for the moment. We're still, like I said, trying to work through how the the ones that the discrepancies that people had. We still have to address those portion of employees, but for these, it's fine.
Very good. Janine, any comments at this time on item N?
No, I just cared about what Robert had to say and appreciate Philip's comments as well.
Yeah, we can actually see the famous, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel and just hope it's not the train coming at us.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I'm just pleased we keep moving this thing forward. So very good. Roll call. Janine.
Aye.
Robin. Jeff, yes. N passes. Next to the informational items, this is receive and file classification study, recommendations and classification specific first reading for Long Beach Council of Classified Employees, AFT Local 6108 and management team. This is a first reading, so no action or vote is required. But are there any comments at this time on this item by anyone? So noted. I'll move on to the next item. Next meeting, which is a historic meeting because it's for April 4th at 5 p.m. If you notice, boardroom T1100 Liberal Arts Campus. So everyone get out of their pajamas and be prepared. So our next meeting, we are back live. And I was talking to Philip. Janine, do you know when we last had our live meeting together?
It was 2 years ago.
March of 2020 is when the governor shut down the state and where we all started. So it's hard to believe we're in 2022.
Yeah.
So we have not been together since March of 2021.
I've never been in a live meeting with Robin ever.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
Neither have I. So, I mean, we'll introduce everybody and we'll be able to give everyone a hug, I hope. So, but anyway, next meeting is scheduled for April 4th. So we're next to closing items, comments from staff, any at all?
I have a report.
Go ahead, Philip.
Thank you. So this is my 7th day. As I said earlier, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I did start reading through the rules. So I'm getting my arms around that. Looking at processes that surely the working out of class is one that I'm going to look at to see how we can better track them. And also to make sure that we're following the rules as was explained today. So we'll look at that piece. I'd also like to bring back a topic for discussion on certifications. Right now, the practice has been that you certify after the commission approves the eligibility list. That's very unusual that we're waiting for the commission to approve the list. And every agency that I worked at, we go ahead and we certify. We still bring the list to the commission for approval, but we move forward with the process. And I'm only bringing that up as a conversation in the future because we're really trying to fill positions. And one more pause does cause us to have to wait. And there really is no rule, as far as I understand, that require us to have that process. So it is something that I like you to walk away from this meeting today. And I understand we're missing a commissioner today, but that's something that I think could improve the efficiency and could get positions filled. And that includes people that are trying to get promoted. So I think that would be something that I would like you to consider. But we certainly, when all three of you are in seat, can have that conversation on a bigger discussion. I'll make sure those items are on the agenda just for discussion.
Philip, could you have that discussion with Robert prior to it coming to us, just so that all the ideas are fleshed out and the pros and cons? Because right now I'm not seeing any of the pros other than timing. My concern would be that we always have this filter that, the union has a good idea of what's happening. We have a good idea of what's happening. And so I'm thinking more as it's not being as positive as probably as you are aware of. So if you and Robert could have a conversation about it, I'd appreciate that. I
would do that. And actually, I'll have one further with HR as well.
Great.
And with the administration, just if they see any major landmines, because, I'm in a new land, so I could be stepping on a landmine. So that's always a possibility, but I'm happy to do that. But thank you for that suggestion. And I will follow through.
Thank you.
I am going on with my report. I am trying to get my arms more around the classification study. So I have time later on this week with staff that are dedicated their time to that project. I understand we might be getting additional staff to help us, which I'm very excited about. Overall, I wanted to tell the three of you, but the two of you are here. I have thoroughly enjoyed working with the staff. They have made it as easy as they can for me, given that I'm in San Jose and they're down in Long Beach. But all of them have been very, very welcoming. I will give you a funny story. Every time I talk to a staff person, I said, how long have you been there? They would say, 6 months. And then I go to the next person, how long have you been there? 4 months. And then as I was losing time, I wasn't gaining time in those conversations. But I will say that there is an asset to having that they all make a good team in the sense that we're all kind of in this lifeboat situation and we're trying to maneuver our way through. And it has been a good experience for me. And again, I think you have an impeccable staff. From the permanents to the limited terms, I think good choices have been made, and I think you have a solid staff. I am working on some events. So there is the Classified Appreciation Day on Friday, May 20th, and I've already engaged conversations with Robert and his team on how we're going to carry that out. We have a job fair coming up in June. I don't have the date right in front of me. I'll be working with the Workforce Development Department on putting that together. And then, of course, I believe there is a September Professional Development Day or something along those lines for classified staff. So I'm having a lot of time on events. So I'm learning a lot about your college. I do plan, commissioners, to be there in person with you on April 4th. I'm flying in from San Jose on Sunday evening, and then I'm leaving Tuesday morning. And I'm going to try and alternate back and forth in the sense that one meeting I'll come in on a Sunday, the next meeting, so April 21st, I'll come in on Monday afternoon, stay overnight, and then be there all day on Tuesday, because some of the staff members come in on Tuesday and some of them come in on Monday. So I'm trying to make sure I meet as many people as possible. You're going
to be very happy when you see how close Long Beach City College is to the Long Beach Airport.
Oh, I've already map quested. I found the hotel. I can walk. It's perfect. It's just perfect.
Good.
And that concludes my report. So again, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Philip. Anyone else from staff this time? And comments, Janine, from the commissioners?
Yeah, I have a couple. So on the 20th of May, you said we're having our classified day. As Robert will tell you, we have missed our last couple picnics, luncheons that we have every year to honor our classified staff. Personally, I think they're one of the highlights of the year. A day that we can show appreciation for their hard work, and a day that we can have that is together and collegial and just fun. And we haven't been able to do that. And I know that's a lot to throw on the plate of basically an entirely new staff, but is it out of the question that we can actually have that this year on the day it's meant to be? We've had to postpone it 2 years now.
That is our intent, is that we will have an in-person event. And so we've already picked, it's going to be at the other campus. I don't know your campus as well. It's not at the liberal arts campus. It's going to be at the other one, the Pacific
At the PCC campus.
Yeah, thank you. And so we've already, we've got a general theme. We're working on that. We've got the menu picked out, except for we're trying to figure out what the veggie item is going to be. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. We don't know what numbers we'll get. You know, a lot of people are not in seat on campus on Fridays. They're working, but we're going to have the event. And so we're going to move. But, you know, as I've told everybody else, it's like when I just started, it's like if your daughter came home and said, hey, I'm getting married on the 20th of May. You need to get the food. You need to get the venue. You need to get the invitations out. And that's the day we have to have it. So that's kind of what the mode that we're in. So it will be the best that we can do given the short timeline. But yes, to answer your question, we are moving forward.
I'm thrilled. And I'm sure that's a huge daunting task. That's why I hated to even ask. Why are we having it PCC rather than LAC? Just because it seems that we wouldn't have chosen that venue for this year when we're back together for the first time.
I understood from history, it rotates back and forth between the campuses, and the last time it was here, and that was back in, it was going to be in 2019. Yeah, and so now it would have been the other campus's turn, and so we're just trying to keep a tradition.
Got it. My other question is, thank you for putting the other things back to the forefront, like Professional Development Day. I believe that we had a Professional Development Day last week. Am I wrong about that, or am I right? Was it one on the 17th? So if everybody could kind of just have a general awareness, we're generally invited to those events, and it's generally something that I participate in, and I think Jeff would if he could, and Robin would if she could. I find them very valuable. So just to kind of throw it out there, if we could just kind of be aware of them ahead of time. I didn't know about it until it had ended. Otherwise, I would have brought it to everyone's attention prior. But we enjoy those events and appreciate the invite, but most of the time we try to attend as well. It gives us an opportunity to see what our employees are experiencing, and also to have a good understanding of where they're at and what their needs may be when they bring them up to us in the future.
Okay.
And I also want to thank all these brand new faces, Philip, you included, but Dina, Cynthia, all this hard work that you've been doing is just amazing to me. When I'm bringing up things and saying it's been done for 15 years, I feel badly because I know there is no historical institutional memory right now in the office. Kristen's the longest term, and you've been there, what, 5 years, Kristen?
4, but I was only over the PC for about 8 months, so I'm like trying to.
I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Very brief period.
So I hope that I don't sound preachy. I don't mean to sound that way, but I just want to. I'm one of those people who wants to maintain consistency until we, as a group, make a change. Because I know it's very important. The things that have been laid down before us have reasons why they're there, and it's primarily to protect our staff and keep everyone in the loop so that nobody's all of a sudden blindsided. So I apologize if it sounds that way. I don't mean it to be. I just know that our institutional memory right now is pretty lean, and want to make sure we're doing things to the best of our ability to protect our employees and the institution and the college itself. So that's it for me, Jeff.
Well, Commissioner, I will tell you this. None of us have been in seat long enough to get offended, so don't worry about it.
That's very true, Philip. No, I appreciate that feedback.
And too, I mean, if you follow, I mean, there's a chancellor told me a long time ago, there's a rule and regulation for everything involved with the community colleges in California, which is very true. So the point of that is you follow it and you usually won't get yourself in trouble. So, right. I mean, that's in a positive way. And I also learned very early on that institutional knowledge is usually when that person sat down, from that point forward, that's their institutional knowledge. So everything else before that sometimes is lost. So it is good, but really, regardless of the individuals, I think just if you just follow the rules and regulations and everything laid out in a policy-driven institution like California Community Colleges, you're usually going to be okay. So nothing against anyone individually. Janine, did you have any? My comments are very much straightforward. Thank you again, Philip and everyone, for being here. Look forward to seeing everyone. To the point about the 20th of May, look forward to that. I can only suggest if you're going to use the wedding scenario, make sure you have a good band and good food. And there, people will show up. So look forward to that, though. Honestly, it's been too long. Just a little quick note. I saw it. I don't know if Dina, thank you for circulating, or somebody. April 1st is the ribbon cutting for the aquatic center, which is one of the nicest aquatic centers you will find anywhere, and it's all ready for the Olympics, I think. So when they show up in a few more years, but it is absolutely beautiful. We're invited to it. It's on a Friday, April 1st. This is not a joke. April 1st is on a Friday, 9 a.m. at the Aquatic Center. Just FYI, Janine, I'm going to be hoping for you because we're going to do a swim relay.
Oh.
We're going to be taking on all comers. So we're going to be in, that is an April Fool's joke if they could be in a swim bodysuit.
Lifeguards will be there as well.
Well, I can swim, but I don't know. That's a long pool. But anyway, we're invited to it. It's a beautiful venue, and should be really proud about it. So, and then the final thing I talked to Philip, Janine, you and I have talked about as well for future when we're able to get together. I think it is important. It was a good suggestion that I know Janine and Robin have both talked about, and that is when we talk about out of class, working out of class, since we get it in piecemeal, each project, just for informational, if somebody in the future could present how many people out of all of them are working out of class, so we have an idea from a percentage standpoint and also a number standpoint. I think that gives us a lot better understanding. And then what is the comparable other institutions like ours? Are we above the norm, below the norm? We understand the reasons behind working out of class. But I think that would help all of us be just more intelligent on what's going on and understanding it better, because we always get it one by one. And I thought that was a good recommendation. So for the future, if we can probably compile that, I think it's a good bit of information for all of us to have. So I'm just asking for that in the future. That is it on the comments from the commissioners.
Jeff,
Public
can I bring up
comments?
one more thing?
No, you're done. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Since we're coming back, no one in this room except for Kristen and Robert know that Dick Gaylord was on the Personnel Commission for 25 years, and he left during COVID, and we never got to honor him. So we've talked about it over the course of the last 2 years. As soon as we come back, we will be honoring Dick in person. Can we please put that on a future consideration with the approval of my fellow commissioners?
Yeah, I think somewhere in April, if we can do it, and we have to invite Dick. I know Dick is very much a thank you, but I think it'd be a nice gesture, and it's always nice to celebrate things. Mm-hmm. And so possibly let's get through our first meeting, April 4th, and I think that's a good suggestion. And I will talk with Dick about what dates may work for him, so he can come and be properly. We try to do it through Zoom, but we all know it's not the same. Yeah. So I think he's earned that. So that's a good suggestion.
We generally have like a cake and just a little reception. So there's nothing big formal. It's not a hard thing for staff to put on, but it is, I think, important to acknowledge the years and years and years of service that he put in, and we never got to thank him in person. So.
Okay, very good. Good suggestion. All right, moving on. Is there any public comments on non-agenda items?
Jeff, I would like to thank everybody.
Bill, I was actually going to recognize you to say, and I'm going to do it right now. I don't know what the normal protocol, but Bill Garrett, former trustee at the Grossmont Cuyamaca, the word that always gets screwed up by people, Grossmont Cuyamaca Community College District. So, Bill, thank you for attending. Would you like to make any comments? Do you have any questions at this time?
Well, I want to thank you for having this meeting on Zoom, because if you'd had it in person, I'm undoubtedly not have been able to get up there. But I certainly recognize and appreciate the fact you want to go back in person. And so but I wanted to thank, first of all, I wanted to thank Janine for the conversation she and I had, as well as the invitation to sit in on this meeting, and to Danina as well to send me the link. That was really terrific. And Jeff, I'm having dinner with Cindy tomorrow night, in fact, and my wife and I will be there, and I'll certainly say hello to her for you. She, I know, thinks as much of you as you do of her. It's really a terrific opportunity. But I think but this has been very helpful to me, and it leads me to undoubtedly more thinking about it. And I've already gotten Philip to agree to continue our conversations. And in fact, once the Personnel Commission is put into place, I'll be recommending that Philip give us some training so that we can get up and running as soon as possible and doing it well. And so just thank you very much for letting me be part of this tonight.
Thank you, Bill. And I do appreciate it. Please give my best to Cindy. And she always wore the most beautiful scarves.
Yes, she does.
Her trademark. She always wore the scarves. And she was one of my favorites. There was a couple that down that way. Sunny Cook. So you work with some really great people, and you're very fortunate.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
So the district has been phenomenal in a lot of ways. So anyway, say hi, and if you ever have any questions, please don't hesitate to let us know.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
If there are any other comments, Dina, did you have anything you needed to add?
No, I have nothing to add.
By the way, I don't know how you did it or who did it, but all my vaccination records have now been entered. I would love to say I did it, but I know somebody did it for me. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Or did you guys just get fed up with me? Is that really the truth? Yeah, I won't go there.
Commissioner Kellogg, it's our job to take care of you. So we do our best.
Yeah, I know. You know what? We've been talking to my wife. Yeah.
Yes. You know what?
Yes.
We've had your vaccination information for quite a while, and we're really sorry you had some computer difficulties uploading it yourself, but you are good now.
That's a very nice way of saying I am an idiot on a computer, like most of my people in my generation. So, but thank you, but I'm good and we're ready to go. So if there's no other public comments.
Did Robert have something for us?
Pardon me?
I was wondering if Robert had anything for us tonight.
Robert?
You're on mute, Robert.
I don't think he has anything.
No, I'm good for now. Thank you so much. I'll talk next meeting.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks, Robert.
Commissioners, since you were bringing up accolades and honorations for the commission or former commissioner, I believe in your April meeting, could be on the 4th, there is the Classified Employee of the Year. And then I think they're bringing the one from last year as well, the one that.
Oh, fantastic.
That's great.
So I think that's going to be on your agenda. So you'll have a month of celebrations, I think.
Wonderful. That's what we need. Thank you, Philip.
You're welcome.
That's great. Well, then hopefully everyone can help me run a better meeting when we're all there in person. So anyway, no, thank you all. If there's no other questions or comments at this time, then without objection, we'll adjourn the meeting of the Long Beach City College Personnel Commission. Thank you all very much. Have a great evening, and we'll see everyone on April 3rd. Thanks, Philip.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice
Cynthia,
to meet you, Bill.
Everyone. Bill, thanks. All right. And Robin, if you're out there, get well.
Yes, Robin. We miss you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you all. Meeting is adjourned.